Anyway, thank you very much. I think I'm going to speed this up a little bit. And the question now is, what role do ISPO have in GATE? We've been involved a long time, and we have seen the development. Really nice. The general thing for disability over the years, I mean, I've been in this work many years, 35 years, and at that time, disability was something you didn't talk about and you hide it away. It has changed. It has changed in many countries, but it hasn't changed in other countries. So we had the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, which really changed in 2008. And we are very lucky to have a growing interest within the UN agencies, which help us a lot. But apart from that, we also have technological advancements, which you can see, which have driven the area forward, and also with our ways of easier communicate, people who need these things have easier access to see what is suitable for me, because they can see what other people have. That wasn't possible 30 years ago, because then we could tell them, well, this is what you get, and that's it. That is not happening now anymore. The patients are much more demanding than we had before, so that's also a good thing. The other good thing is that the countries are actually getting much richer. And we always talk about money, that we cannot do this because it's too expensive. I will just wanted to show you this one, which I'm sure that you've already seen, and I'm not going to play it for you now. But this is Hans Rosling, who we in early stages wanted to invite to come here to give a speech. Unfortunately, at that time, he already knew that he was sick, and he actually died last year, which is very big shame. And I just would like you to go into this Gapminder and check all these things out yourself, because it's changed your attitude, and you will become much more positive about things. Here, for example, he clearly prove, you see the continents in different colors on the right-hand side. And you see Asia, you see Europe, you see Americas, and you see Africa. And on the left graph, that's how old in general we become. And on the down graph, you see how much money we earn. And of course, what is the ultimate goal for people? Well, that is to get old, but also rich. It's nice to combine those two things. So the ultimate thing is actually to become old and rich. And this plays from 1800. At that time, we were poor, and we didn't get old. 20 years old maximum. All of us would be dead at that time. So, but now you can see at the year 2015, we have actually moved up to the right-hand side. And you can see that Europe and the Americans have gone very far, but Southeast Asia is moving very quickly the last couple of years. And the development is incredibly fast. Actually, Africa is not moving that fast. It just stands on the brink, maybe to move on now. But this has also driven the way how we look at disability. And it is time, it is time for disabled people to come forward. And GATE is a very well planned, decided and prepared WHO initiative. And now, this is time for implementation. It is a red line. We have worked for many years. We talked about it many years. And we actually come to the point where we can start to implement it. And how do we do? We just heard now, it's not easy to implement, and we're going to have many hurdles. But we actually have a few things now, which is really nice. ISPO's role in this is on several things. GATE is not just one thing. And remember, GATE is Global Cooperation for Assistive Health Technologies. It means it's global. And it actually implies into countries like our countries as well, like my country. I come from Sweden. We need GATE as well. We need GATE in all countries in the world, not only in developing countries. ISPO will focus on the mobility area, which is the prosthetics and the wheelchairs and orthotics. We will continue to work with GATE because this has just started, so we will be and want to be a very strong partner to GATE. We as ISPO, we can work, as you just said, we can work on the government level, but we are also the Indians. We are the ones who are out there and actually doing things. Because we work in small practices, we see patients every day. And to our help, we have 71 national member societies. And you saw them on the flag ceremony today. It's pretty impressive. And this is the implementers. ISPO International can help the implementers to implement things, and we can help local governments as well with advice. So what have we got? What have we got in our toolbox? Well, first of all, we got a lot of platforms, and Rajiv have talked about this before, and you all know this. I didn't know what type of audience we're going to talk about, but I'm just going to rubble this through very quickly. We have a platform for promoting interdisciplinary work, which is essential. We can't work from one profession. We have a platform for global education system, which is also essential. We need to have a similar education in the background to do the same work. We have a platform for collaboration and partnerships. Because one organization cannot do this, we need to collaborate, just as we heard today. And that platform is in place. We have a platform for global awareness. We need to tell people what we actually are doing. Very, very few people know about prosthetics and orthotics in the world. And we have to tell them what we are doing. Mr. Childs, who was here at the opening ceremony, he could really tell people what it means and what we are doing. People like that, we need ambassadors like that to tell the story. We have a platform for producing standards and guidelines, which you know about. And we have a platform for networking, because this is also very important. We need to have a platform for networking like this. If we don't meet, it's not good enough and we can't produce things. We have a platform for publications. We reach maybe more than 3,000–4,000 people a month. And we have a platform for all the national member societies, which again I regard as the implementers. So now we have come to the point where the toolbox is actually, we have something in the toolbox. Before we talked about it, but now we actually have something in the toolbox. And when you sit at home and you think that something is not good, go and check out in the toolbox what tools you can use to do what you want to do. And these are some of the tools we have today. We have the new standard, which is going to change things, and which we're going to get presented tomorrow. I urge you to come to that, because that will change our work. And it will give us the strongest tool we have yet within prosthetics and orthotics. We have other tools which you have seen before and we talked about before. The priority list of this will be one tool, and so forth. Please write down this link to, that is the link to GATE. If you don't have time to write it down, you go into WHO and write GATE, and this will come up. So we have these platforms, but we also do, and we need to expand these platforms, and we need to do other things. So we need to make sure that we have a postgraduate system, which we heard today as well, and that is on the move. And we need to collect statistics and figures. And that is also on the move, and that's part of our coming work. And we need to get prosthetists, orthotists registered with ILO, which means that we have a job as prosthetists, orthotists, but nobody knows what that job actually is. And the job is not defined, and there is no job called that. And that is something we work with as well within the Education Committee, and Carson is heading that at the moment. So these things are very, very important for us. Nils Tönnevold, when we had our first big event at the WHO meeting, he said he was presented the statement from ISPO. And he stood up, he don't have any legs. So that was the guy you saw here today as well. He said, I stand in front of you with no legs. And suddenly people looked up. And then he said another thing, and he finished off with, to invest in disability is an investment and not a cost. And many people in that audience actually listened to that. And I think that is words which we need to remember. I would then like to head on to the discussion that it is time for implementation now, and how do we actually do it in the different countries, because it has to be done very differently depending on which country and which part of the world we are talking about. So I'm going to shorten my talk to this and not expand more on it, and I hand the microphone over to you.